Hey, it's Mark Andrews with another episode of OCFOA Plays of the Week. I promised you a new one quickly, and here it is. Let's go. Okay, let's talk pass interference. Pass interference is one of those types of fouls that we have a lot of disagreement about between officials. And Steve Coover's San Diego's excellent mechanics manual includes 6 types of defensive pass interference. Take a look at those for just a second. You can see it's early contact by a defender is not playing the ball, playing through the back of a receiver, grabbing, restricting the receivers, extending an arm across the body, also known as an arm bar, cutting off or riding the receiver out of the path of the ball, and then hooking and restricting. Now, there's more to this. You have to, obviously, if the defensive player is playing the ball, then he's going to get a lot more latitude than if he's playing the player. So let's take a look at a few of these plays. We're going to have several here that are, they're close. So let's take a look at this one, and I will try to get it through at real time. Here we go. All right, so we go back. Let's run it slow motion. Okay, so here's our receiver right here. And watch what happens. Now, the offensive receiver actually makes a little contact here, pushing off. But, again, is that enough for a flag? I don't think so. But there was some contact there. Now we have him going up for the ball. The defensive player is making an effort to reach that ball. The ball is overthrown, which, of course, we are not supposed to take into consideration, but we also have to consider advantage, disadvantage in this type of play. And since that ball is so far away from the receiver, it would take a lot more severe contact, in my opinion, for that to be called a pass interference. Steve agrees. Outstanding, no call. Let's move on to the next play. All right, here's our next play. Goal line situation. Keep in mind, guys, remember when do pass interference restrictions begin for each team? For A, they start at the snap. For B, they start when the ball has left the quarterback's hands or the thrower's hands. So, passer's hand. Let's use the correct terms here. Let's take a look at this play. See, no flag by the back judge, and he's obviously ruling that contact was legal. Now, unfortunately, our cameraman decides to move right as the ball is snapped, but okay, we still get a good look at this. Let's go in slow motion. Now you can see some contact. The defender is pressing this receiver. There's a little bit of contact there. Now, it's difficult to see. I know this is fuzzy, but it looks to me like that is a pretty clean play. I don't see a hand on the back of the receiver. I think it's a great no call. Steve put his comment up at the beginning here. Another great no call. Got to watch our weekly film, right? So, I agree. That's a no call. Let's move on to the next one. All right, we are going to get a call for defensive pass interference on this play. Let's take a look at it. Okay, so we'll walk it back, go slow. Again, unfortunately, the receivers go out of frame here. We can't see what happened prior to this, but we are going to see what happens. Now, I'm not sure what this guy is seeing. I mean, I hate to be critical of, especially when you're watching film, there's a lot of stuff you don't see. But that looks pretty darn clean to me. And Steve's comment, very quick to throw, and the action by the defensive back does not appear to be restricting in any way. Slow down. That's great advice. We can give ourselves a couple of seconds before we toss this. And then this is a great point. I love this. He's pointing out the receiver's not complaining. He doesn't know that flag has been thrown. He's going to get the ball. And, so that, again, the attitude of the players sometimes can tell you whether there was a foul or not. And then I love this comment. So here comes the back judge. Guys, get together on this. If you've got something different, don't be afraid to talk to your crewmate. I mean, ultimately he's responsible for picking up that flag or not. But this is why we have crews. So communicate. Personally, I think that's a no call. Moving on. All right, here's another pass interference call. Let's take a look at it in real time. I have a little less problem with this one than the other one, but I don't think Steve's too happy about either one. So you see the flag come in. He's got signal. Let's watch this in slow motion. You can see he gets there just a little bit early. Watch this. I don't know if you can see the ball. The ball's right here. Here's the defender. He's making contact right before the ball gets there. It is a bang play. I think I'd say I'm okay with this call. I think Steve's point is well taken, though. This. Watch what the flank official does. He's already sold the call. Okay, now he's living with it. Pass interference, defense. It wouldn't hurt him to get together with his back judge just to see what the back judge had on that play, and maybe just talk it over. Then give your signal. All right, moving on. All right, here's another pass interference called on the defense. This time it's on the head linesman's side. Let's take a look at it. All right, see the flag, signal. All right, so what do we got here? The back's rolling out. Little dump pass. Now notice where the ball is. It's a good 10 feet over his head. Now again, I know that we don't consider that in high school, but is this really worthy of a pass interference call? You're going to live and die with this type of call. And Steve says, back judge has a great view, and he didn't throw, so we've got to get together and questions advantage. I would pass on something like this unless it was just a brutal takedown or something, something personal foul like. Let this go. On this play, we're dealing with potential pass interference, but this time by the offense. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the categories of offensive pass interference. The first category is the one that's the most commonly thought of as offensive pass interference. That's where the offensive player initiates contact with the defender and then either shoves or pushes off and creating separation in order to catch a pass. The other two types of offensive pass interference: driving through a defender who has established a position on the field, and 3 is the pick play, blocking downfield to prevent a defender from making a play on another receiver or on the ball. All right, so remember that pass interference restrictions on a legal forward pass begin for A with the snap. That means any contact after the snap that prevents a B player from getting to a receiver that's beyond the neutral zone is potentially pass interference. And remember that 7.5.10 tells us that it's forward pass interference if any player of A or B who is beyond the neutral zone interferes with an eligible opponent's ability to move toward, catch, or bat the pass. So, with all that said, let's take a look at the action of these two receivers on these two defenders. You notice this is a zero coverage formation. In other words, there's no one playing deep. It's man on man. And so that's something you want to take into consideration when you're judging, advantage on these types of plays. So I'm going to run it real time. Keep an eye on those two receivers. Okay, let's run it back. Okay, Steve's comment, 4th and goal. Think pick. Is this a legal route? Watch this receiver here if you didn't see it the previous time. It's a strange route. He's going straight into the breadbasket of the defender, and he appears to be pushing him back. Okay, so there's the contact, and A is initiating that contact. Yeah, B's defending him, but he's getting pushed backward, and he's also sort of getting in the way of that other defender, although we don't rule on sorta. Now, it's a bad pass. So what is this? Well, there's no clear-cut answer is the answer to that. This is judgment, and I think this official here probably has a real slow whistle, and he sees that the pass is incomplete. He does not throw the flag. Had this been completed, maybe he would have thrown a flag. But the question is, why would he throw a flag? In other words, what did he think was illegal about this action? And it's got to be this action right here, that drive into the defender. Okay, now this guy, he's open. I mean, it's not because of that action that he's open. His man is well off of him. So if you chose not to throw a flag on this play, okay, you can live with that, but know why you didn't throw the flag. Okay, you have to understand the reasons why you didn't. And then also, if you threw a flag and said it was due to this action and it was illegal, that's probably okay too. You may have seen that Steve mentioned calibration on this video. They did do the calibration test, and about, I'd say, 60% of the responding San Diego officials thought this was offensive pass interference. So 60-40, it's a majority, but it's not a huge majority. All right, moving on. Okay, guys, time to put your thinking caps on. This is a pretty gnarly rules question. It's easy to get these wrong. Okay, so Steve's saying, what if? With the new tack-on rule, what if the umpire called this a hold? Watch this action right here. Can the receiving team get the holding call tacked on to the kickoff? Okay, so what is the tack on that he's talking about? So we have a change to Rule 10.4.2 this year, and it's to avoid re-kicks. And it says that normally a loose ball enforcement is previous spot, but the basic spot may, at the option of the offended team, be the succeeding spots for fouls by K during a scrimmage, a free scrimmage kick down, other than kick-catch interference, when K will not be the next to put the ball in play. So we have a scrimmage kick. We have a potential foul by K, a hold. And so far, we've got that exception, right? So we can get a succeeding spot enforcement on this. So I don't know if you caught that hold, is he grabs him, spins him right there. Okay. Steve is not saying that's a hold necessarily. You doesn't see it because he's trying not to get run over. Let's take a look at this rest of this play. R makes an reception. Nice cut. He's taking it to the house, right? So, what do we have? We know that that in some situations, a foul committed by the opponent of a scoring team can be enforced on the try or the kickoff. Is this one of them? And the answer is no. And the only option is to take the penalty on the point after. And if you look at 823, I have it right there. It says if an opponent of a scoring team commits a foul other than a sportsmanlike conduct or non-player foul during a down in which a touchdown is scored and there was a change of possession, so far all those things have been met during the down, and such foul occurs after the change of possession. There's the problem. This occurred before the change of possession. the scoring team may accept the results of the play and choose an enforcement on the penalty on the try or on the subsequent kickoff. So we don't have this situation. So the only option here is for R to accept the penalty on the try. Now, prior to this, they would have just declined the penalty. So there's a little something there, but we're not going to award the penalty on the kickoff. All right, on this play, we've got some real nice mechanics. I know we just did a mechanics video, but I like a lot of the things that this crew does here. And we've got maybe a potential intentional grounding. Let's take a look. Keep your eye on the quarterback. All right, let's slow it down a little bit. Okay, 43 is the player that he's going to try to throw to, so he's eligible. He was the running back. He dumps that thing. Wow, headlinesman almost gets crushed by 37. Okay, great job. Still pointing at the player that was eligible. So Steve's pointing out that block is that's the referee's job to watch that particular block. And the calibration I explained to you, that's a new tool that San Diego's using. So now watch 43 and watch the head linesman. It might be a little too close to this play, but almost gets it. Yep, great job. Good hustle by the umpire here too. Great job. So let's take a look at it from the end zone. He's talking about the umpire coming up to the line of scrimmage. He's really moving. Incoming, right on. My opinion, personally, I don't think this is intentional grounding. But some really good work by this crew. We've talked a lot in the past about illegal blindside blocks. Let's take a look at a legal blindside block. Okay, let's get that in slow motion. So we've got the receiver breaking away. Defender's concentration is on the runner. But watch, this is a screen. Watch, he just gets in his way. No forceful contact. Great job. Yeah, nice movement by the back judge. Let's take a look at it from the end zone. Let's speed this up a little bit. All right, there you see the block. Okay. Steve makes an interesting point here. This is the hole in five-man mechanics. This is, when this as a flank, if we're holding the line of scrimmage, then we can't get down on this play. So remember, back judges, this is your action, right? Flank official is going to have progress. Back judge, do not focus on this player exclusively. Watch this block here. And of course, the official and the umpire could take a look at it too, but you've probably got the best look at it. Yeah, great job. Wait for that confirmation. Thumbs up, nodding, whatever it might be. But good crew communication. All right, let's end this with just a reminder on mechanics on a point after. This is the next play from the previous play. We had the long touchdown run. Tempers might be up. So what are we going to do as soon as the kick is over? Look at this. Flank officials hustle in, make their presence felt. This is solid. This is what you should be doing on every PAT. Well, that's it for episode 4 of OCFOA Plays of the Week. If you'd like to subscribe to my YouTube channel, just click on my picture in the upper right-hand corner. If you'd like to view any of the previous videos, click on the playlist in the upper left-hand corner.